All right, let's talk about another New Year's horror movie. This one comes to us from Thailand, although it is set in New York City, and maybe 25% of this movie is in English. It kind of goes back and forth between Thai and English. But as I said, primarily it's Thai, but there is a good amount of English within this film. I thought this movie was great, but a few warnings. Number one, I know there are people out there, a good amount of them, even in the horror community, that are not fond of torture movies. Now, I'm not saying this is a torture film, but there are torture sequences, primarily mental torture. So if you're opposed to that kind of stuff, people, being either tied up or held in a place and being physically abused or mentally abused for an extended period of time, then this, there will be a good amount of this film that you will want to turn off. And I understand that. I mean, if that's not your thing, that's not your thing. But that's pre-warning number one. Number two is this film doesn't go the way you think it's going to go in a few instances, and I can see that turning people off, not because you didn't guess right, but because the direction that it goes in might turn you off. And it happens so late into the film that you're already invested in it, and it might piss you off. So I wasn't expecting it. It didn't annoy me, but I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's where we're going with this. Huh. All right. Anyway, and I kind of just got on with it. Not like I said, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I think maybe the more I think about it, and now that I've seen the whole thing, and I can kind of view it all as a one piece, I will probably enjoy it more thinking about it. But I definitely could see a good amount of people being very annoyed with certain things. One of the things I was definitely annoyed about, and this is something I will get annoyed about in any single film, is characters making stupid decisions. When they have somebody in a position, whatever, oh, it frustrates me. It frustrates me. But whatever. Now, I will point out for sure, and this is one of the main things I want to talk about here, is the main villain in this movie is fantastic. Now, his acting is a little off at times. I think that might be a language barrier thing, but oh man, he's so good. This movie has a lot of style in it. It's very fast paced. It's very frantic in its editing and in its camera work and shot selections and whatnot. So the movie is always moving. It's never boring. It's never slow. It's constantly chugging along, just really keeping you invested, really keeping your attention. There's not like a lot of gore or anything like that. That's not this kind of movie. But so if that sounds like your kind of movie, definitely check it out. I thought everyone in the movie was excellent. It mostly primarily takes place with 4 central characters. There are a couple others, but they're only in it for maybe a couple minutes. So, and it's basically a one location film. It is set on New Year's Eve, and the New Year's thing plays into it pretty heavily, especially towards the end. So it is 100% a New Year's Eve, New Year's horror movie. I do kind of want to talk about spoilers a little bit here. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and shut it off. So I'm going to get into a spoiler discussion really quick. But I do recommend you check this out. All right, talking about spoilers. The thing I was talking about like people not, maybe losing interest in this or being mad or whatever, going this way or that way, is obviously with this whole thing with the guy being there, not being there, being God, being Jesus. This is weird because it's like they called him, but then he's a figment or he's a religious figure. They're reciting Buddhist lines, but his name is Jesus or Jesus or whatever. So it's kind of all over the place. And the fact that it kind of keeps going in and out of like, was he there? Then it's going to kill him again. Then they're not. They have absolved themselves of their sins. Like he's there to better them as people. They get to the end of the elevator. They see heaven or a second chance or whatever, and they are redeemed. And there's the countdown. They have a few countdowns, so that title applies for sure. Those are things that I just think that viewers will lose themselves on. Obviously, if you're watching at this point, you've probably seen it. Definitely curious on where you were at, like when you, or like how you felt when you realized none of that had happened. Everyone was still alive. All that stuff. I kind of saw it coming when she went out to the elevator and she like passed out with the little girl and everything. And I like it. I mean, there's a lot of great emotion in this. Like when she is breaking down in this movie, holy shit, she is giving a fantastic performance. B, the character B, wow, she was incredible. Everyone in this movie was really, really good. But especially, the main villain here, Jesus, whatever. I didn't want to say that because I don't know where people think this is going to go and maybe they'll be confused, whatever. But I was really impressed by her and him. Man, what a crazy fucking villain. He was so all over the place, and the taunting and all the shit that he was doing was excellent. It did annoy me, though. The things I was talking about, the thing that annoyed me is like they put the plastic wrap around his fucking head and then he's going to open it. But I guess in retrospect now that I've seen the whole thing, they couldn't have stopped him anyways because he wasn't actually even there, so it wouldn't have mattered. But it's still their decision, so I'm annoyed that she had the chance to shoot him. She didn't. He had the chance to just leave the the saran wrap around his head and didn't. So those things always bug me a little bit. But I really like a lot of the visuals, like the Happy New Year's 2013 and his eyeball and stuff like that. So a lot of cool artistic choices here. I don't know exactly what the symbolism is here. Maybe like absolving yourself for the new year, like a new you, a new year, a rebirth through confession. Everyone is better at the end. I mean, that's true. I mean, they all were basically shitty people or living with such guilt. She killed people. And whether she did it on purpose or not, I mean, I don't think she did. I think it was an accident. But and maybe she left that girl there to die. Maybe she drive away. I don't know. They had pictures of her. Why wouldn't she be in jail? I don't know. And then her boyfriend and her roommate are fucking behind her back, even though her roommate girlfriend or whatever is like all pissed off. She thinks he's cheating. See, if anyone ever accuses you of cheating and is really super jealous, they're the fucking cheat. Anyway, and he's spending all his dad fucking sold his company to send him to call. What a piece of shit. That's fucked up, man. He let his dad sell his business so that he could just party. Wow. There's no like, I'm sorry, confession wasn't good enough. He got off light. That's some bullshit, man. Holy crap, I could never do that to my father. My father's worked so hard for his business. Wow, what a fuckhead. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you thought. Travis, thank you for recommending I should have said this in the beginning, so you're getting your shout out a little late here. But Travis, thank you. This is a great addition to my New Year's horror. I really, truly appreciate it, man. Thank you. All right, guys.